Right, in today's video it's going to be about the stabilization modes with the newly released Insta360 Ace Pro 2. And just before I get into the video, I'm just going to show you how to locate them on the camera. So to find the stabilization modes, you'll just swipe up from the bottom, and on the left column there, second one down, you'll see stabilization. And there it'll bring up 4 different modes. The first one is obviously you're taking the stabilization off. The second in line is low. This provides basic stabilization suitable for real sports feel. The next one up is standard. Again, this is suitable for stabilization in moderate activity such as road riding, and this one's going to be great for vlogging. And then the last one on the list is high, and this is going to be good for extreme sports like mountain biking or anything where you're going to get quite aggressive with the camera. And then you'll just simply swipe down from the top and that'll take you back out of the modes. So now that you know how to find them, let's put them to the test. Here we go. So first of all, I've deactivated all stabilization. I've got the Ace Pro 2 around 30 centimeters away from me on a selfie stick, and I'm just walking at a normal pace. So what's that footage look like? I can imagine it's wobbling all over slightly. For obvious reasons, we've deactivated all that stabilization. And now I'm going to point the camera facing forward and just walk as I'm doing right now, just to compare there. Again, all stabilization's deactivated as the camera's facing forwards. And as you can see, it's pretty wobbly. And now with the stabilization deactivated, I'm just going to pick the pace up a little bit and do a little jog here. Again, the camera's in the same position, just as if I was walking. So again, what's that footage look like? So now I'm jogging with the camera facing forward. Again, what's that footage look like? I can imagine it to be rather shaky. And now, as you probably can tell from the footage, I've enabled the low stabilization mode. So this is just the most basic one from it being switched off. So what's this footage look like? Again, the camera's in the same position. And now let's spin the camera around. The footage should be a lot more usable. And now let's pick the pace up a little bit. Again, the camera's in the same position. We're just jogging now, just as before. So what's that footage look like? And now let's turn the camera around. Is the footage a lot more stable? And now I've activated the standard stabilization mode, so this should be a little bit better than the low version. So again, what's this look like? I can see it's quite stable through this OLED screen on the Ace Pro 2. So that looks good. Now I'm going to spin the camera around to see what that looks like. And now the camera's facing forward. It's in standard stabilization mode. Is that any better than the previous low stabilization mode? And now let's pick the pace up a little bit with the standard stabilization activated. Again, the camera's in the same position. And is that doing a better job than when the low stabilization was activated? I'm just coming to a gate here. Right, now I'll spin the camera around and do a slight jog again. So now that I'm jogging with the standard stabilization activated, can you see much difference for when the low stabilization was activated? Again, through the back of the screen, it does look quite stable. And now the stabilization mode is set to high, so this should be the most stable one. But just as I'm walking, you're not really going to see much difference to this one, to the standard one, I should imagine. But that's what this video is all about. We're just testing each stabilization mode out, just so you can see there. So now let's spin the camera around. So what's that footage look like now the camera's facing forward with the highest stabilization activated? And now we're going to have to go running, aren't we? And now with the highest stabilisation set, let's pick the pace up a little bit. Now this is where you should see a bit more of a difference, and I'm actually not taking as much care. We're trying to keep this selfie pole rather straight. So this will be interesting to compare the differences with the standard one to the highest setting on the stabilisation mode. Now let's spin the camera around. And now I'm running a little bit faster and not taking as much care, just trying to stabilise the selfie pole myself. So we should see a big difference here. Again, what's that footage look like? I'll tell you something, I'm getting right warm now. Started off with my hat on and that's almost come off straight away because it's boiling. You can get outside and it's freezing, as you know. Once you start moving, especially jogging about, you've had it, haven't you? So just in case you're wondering what resolutions I've been shooting this video in today, I've been shooting in 4K 30, my field of view's been set to D-warp, completely in automatic mode straight out the box. That way you get a real feel for this Ace Pro 2, what it looks like, all the colours, etc. And I've also kept the HDR, the high dynamic range, enabled. That's just for personal preference because I really want to see what it looks like. In my opinion, with these stabilisation modes, as long as you activate the standard stabilisation when you're vlogging, which this one's in right now, what you're looking at, you'll be good to go. Now if you're doing any kind of aggressive mountain biking or any action sports, I'd set that to high, and again, you should be good to go. And whilst filming today, it's also been a great test for the new Leica lens, the AI chip, and the 13.5 stops dynamic range. Because that sun is really bright over there. This time of year it's really low. And I've remembered my ND filters for a change as I'm walking straight into that sun, because usually I forget them and I'm vlogging like this. So these are a no-brainer today. In fact, why that sun is really bright in the sky today and there's no clouds around, let's really put that 13.5 stops dynamic range through its paces. I'm just going to point the Ace Pro 2 to the sun, and then I'm going to put my body in front of it, and let's see if you can clearly make my details out, or am I just a dark shadow? Here we go. So am I a complete black dark shadow, or can you make any details out in my features and my body there? Again, straight into the sunlight, and then facing straight towards me. Can you make much detail out there? So I hope this video has been useful for you today, and you've had a real good insight of what the stabilisation modes look like with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon, especially with this Ace Pro 2 and the Action 5 Pro. And also I'll be doing a lot of comparison videos with both of those action cameras, because the Ace Pro 2 and the Action 5 Pro, in my opinion, are the best two action cameras on the market to date. So there's going to be some great videos coming up comparing the differences there. Thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.